Petey.
You know, it's very easy for some of these wrestling channels. It's too easy. It's almost tempting. Nah, I don't need to do this. I actually watch the show week in and week out. I can do this on my own. I don't need to steal a list off the internet. I can form my own opinions. Why would I care what these goons think? So if you ask me for the best, I'd say here are the top 10 TNA wrestling matches of all time, according to me, and only me. Don't forget to subscribe, and bear in mind I've deliberately left out a few matches like AJ v Angle Last Man Standing, because there were just too many damn good matches featuring AJ or Kurt Angle. It would make this list as dull as the girl you met from Tinder the other night. So here they are, in order. Douglas Williams v AJ Styles, Final Resolution 2010. Douglas Williams, a veteran English wrestler, was sort of a member of Ric Flair's Fortune faction. At least he was always standing around behind them. It was called Fortune, but Williams was the 5th member. Get your head around that. There was a pre-match interview with Kazarian hyping the match and calling Douglas Williams a traitor for fighting AJ. Douglas Williams was the challenger for AJ Styles' TV title, an awful title I reviewed in my last video, which is showing on the screen right now. Taz made fun of Douglas Williams' attire during his entrance. AJ almost hit the Styles Clash in the first minute or two. It was a tense start to the match with a long feeling out process, and AJ was certainly in control for the first 5 minutes of the match. Douglas Williams hit a cannonball to the outside on AJ, which was shocking to see from him and helped him gain the advantage. AJ also hit a moonsault on Williams' neck as he tried to climb back inside the ring, a move I have honestly never seen before. This match really was AJ at his best, despite working as a heel in the entire match. AJ put Williams in the figure 4, but Williams countered it and they rolled outside the ring and somehow stayed in the figure 4, with Williams reversing the pressure. Williams got several close pinfalls in the match, and then suddenly out of nowhere Williams hit his finishing move, the Rolling Chaos Theory suplex on the outside. Beautiful move. AJ manages to make it back into the ring, but was dazed. Williams was able to hit AJ with his own move, the Styles Clash for the 3. He beat him with his own move. A match with 3 things I've never seen before: the moonsault to Williams' neck, the Rolling Chaos Theory on the outside, and staying in the figure 4 as they rolled outside the ring. Love this match for the contrast in styles and the originality. Rockstar Spud v EC3, Hair v Hair, Impact Wrestling, March 13, 2015. Spud had been hanging around with EC3 for a couple of years at this point, up until Dixie Carter was put through a table by Bully Ray, and EC3 blamed Spud for this happening. This match was taking place in London, England, and was in front of a big-time crowd. Spud comes out dressed in an England football team jersey and singing the national anthem. There's just no doubting who the babyface is in this match. Spud starts out by biting EC3 into a barber's chair and hitting him with a dropkick into the chair, then hitting a front senton onto EC3 on the outside. Tyrus, aka Fatboy, now interfered for EC3. He was his new manager. He hit Spud with a powerbomb the outside of the ring with the ref distracted. Ken Anderson then came out and took Fatboy out, thank God. Spud now split open bleeding like a stuffed pig, and it's all EC3 from here on now. EC3 jaw-jacking with Jeremy Borash on the outside, and Borash gets in the ring and hits him in the Spuds. Rockstar Spud with the Stone Cold Stunner, but EC3 kicked out at 2. EC3 beats Spud back down, screaming at him to stay down. But Spud hulks up, and he's still on fire for a few minutes, until he suddenly gets beaten by the 1%er. After the match, EC3 apologises and said he isn't going to shave Spud. But then he attacks Spud from behind and shaves his hair while screaming at him. Really old school match and the crowd dug it. Gail Kim vs Terrell, last knockout standing match, Slammiversary 2012. You know that feeling when you go into something completely dreading it and then you are pleasantly surprised? Well, that's what happened here, and I couldn't have been happier. Terrell, the former Tiffany in ECW, had been a referee for some time in the Knockouts division. Gail Kim had been bullying her and pushing her around. Terran eventually snapped and attacked her. She would be fired for this, but then hired back to be a wrestler. OGB is the special referee here in this match. Terran actually gets zero reaction from the crowd for her entrance from the Boston crowd, but that would soon change. Most people expected this match to be a complete disaster, and that may have been why the crowd was so muted to begin with. Gail puts Terran in the octopus stretch early on, trying to knock Terran out, but Terran was able to answer the 10 count. Gail hits a missile dropkick on Terran, but Terran gets up at 6. Gail is getting frustrated now and grabs a steel chair, which Terran avoids. Crossbody from the top by Terran, but Gail blocks the crossbody with a steel chair. Taz was trying his best to ruin this match, singing and make his sexist comments. Figure 4 leglock on the ring post by Gail, but Terran able to get up at 8 after this. Gail then out of nowhere goes hurtling into a steel chair that she set up in the corner of the ring earlier on. I forgot it was there. Gail up at 9. Terran then with a figure 4 of her own around the ring post. Gail gets up at 8 on the outside from this. Terran then goes for a dive on her but misses and crashes into the entranceway metal with a brutal thud. Terran up at 9. Gail gets back on the attack and tries to hit a pile driver on the entranceway, which Terran reverses, and then out of nowhere hits a cutter running off the entrance ramp to the floor below. The audience is a complete shock. They had completely turned around the crowd at this point. Gail is unable to answer the 10 count and your winner is Terran. I rate this match so highly because it was completely unexpected, full of high impact moves, and let's be honest, how often does Gail Kim actually lose a match? Austin Aries v Bully Ray, TNA Sacrifice 2012. Bully Ray at his best in his pre-match promo, ranting about how he hates Twitter and referring him to himself as Calfzilla. Much of the build around the size difference, Bully saying he's taking craps bigger than Aries, and Aries calling him Blubber Ray. This match took place before Aries captured his first TNA World title, although would be winning it a few months after this. Lots of trash talking by Bully Ray to start the match, but Aries showing that he's not intimidated. Lots of talk throughout this match about Aries not being able to hit his brain buster finish on Bully Ray due to the size difference. Bully started the match ducking and diving Aries for a few minutes and frustrating the crowd. Bully with some great selling of his groin, and the crowd loved it. Bully Ray hitting a big boot on Aries on the top rope and Aries crashing to the floor. Not seen that before, and it took some nasty spill to the outside. And wow, the results of that fall are nasty to see. It's all Bully from here on, a very slow methodical pace, lots of jaw-jacking with the crowd in between. Fans firmly behind Aries. So much heel work from Bully Ray in this match, yelling at Aries all the way throughout, but Aries is refusing to quit. Rock bottom, and then a Bubba cutter by Bully Ray. Man, I love that move, it's so brutal looking. Taz calls it his own version of the 3D. Aries still kicking out from this, and Bully's getting frustrated. Bully Ray attacks Joseph Park, who appears at ringside. He's been feuding with Bully Ray for the last few weeks, and this allows Aries some time to recover and hit a beautiful dive to the outside. Missile dropkick by Aries, the first time in the match Aries has really taken Bully off his feet. Then, out of nowhere, Aries gets Bully Ray up for the brainbuster and hits him, but he only gets a 2. What is going on? Bully goes for a powerbomb, but Aries counters it into the last chancery submission, and Bully Ray taps. A lovely David and Goliath match, great heel work from Bully Ray and incredible strength from Aries to hit the brainbuster. AJ Styles vs Petey Williams vs Sabin, Ultimate X match for the X Division title, Final Resolution 2005. For those of you who don't know, that you win this match by retrieving the belt hanging from the roof, just like a ladder match, but the ring is surrounded by a structure with cables to climb on. Originally, wrestlers would not have used a ladder in this match, and you relied solely on being able to climb the ropes. Petey Williams going into this match as the longest reigning X Division title holder at this point at 5 months. He's accompanied by his manager Scott D'Amore. This match starts with the faces working together to take out Petey Williams, then AJ flipping to the outside landing on Williams and Sabin. AJ making his way to the top, but Sabin able to cut him off with a kick from the top. Sabin then the first wrestler to attempt to climb the ropes, but Scott D'Amore interfering for Petey Williams. D'Amore is then ejected from ringside and the crowd love this. AJ then tries to sneak up and take the victory while Williams was distracted, but Williams spots him and suplexes him. Williams then climbing the ropes when AJ has Sabin in an electric chair. Williams dives off the ropes into a Hurricane Rana. Double inverted DDT by Styles. Sabin with a dropkick on Styles, who was on the ropes. Lovely selling from Styles here. He looks like he fell out of a car. AJ looks like he's completely done at this point. Sabin hits the cradle shock and now he has an excellent chance to reach the title. However, AJ manages to pull himself up and hit a powerbomb and a Styles clash. AJ can't quite grab the belt as he's selling his arm, and Williams sneaks in and hits him with the Canadian Destroyer. Damn, who doesn't like that move? Sabin now hits a running powerbomb into the corner on Williams. Williams and Sabin both make it to the top and they're having a tug of war over the title. But then out of nowhere, AJ springboard jumps on the ropes through the air and grabs the title out of their hands to win the match and win the title. Amazing finish to this one. Kurt Angle vs Desmond Wolfe, 3 Degrees of Pain match, Final Resolution 2009. Wolfe had recently debuted in TNA and had entered straight into a feud with Kurt Angle, with the two trading wins back and forth. The stage was set for a 3 Degrees of Pain match. The first stage is won by pinfall. The second stage is won by submission, and if still needed, the third stage would be settled by escaping the cage. All 3 falls would be contested inside the cage, but the cage was not to be used as a weapon during the first 2 falls. Match starting out with lots of submission wrestling, 5 or 6 headlock takeovers by Wolfe. Angle powerbombing Wolfe into the turnbuckle, but Wolfe not feeling much of an effect from that. Wolfe hitting the Tower of London finisher, but Angle manages to kick out at 2. Angle hits the Angle slam on Wolfe, but only gets a 2 from this, and then he goes through a moonsault to finish him, but misses. Lariat from Wolfe, and a second Tower of London, and Wolfe manages to win the first fall, pinning Angle 1-2-3. Straight into the submission part of the match now. Angle catches Wolf in the figure 4 leg lock. Wolf eventually catches the rope break. Wolf working the arm for most of the match. Kurt catches Wolf in the ankle lock, but Wolf fights out. Kimura arm lock by Wolf, not letting up on Kurt's arm. He is desperate to get Kurt to submit through his arm. Wolf puts Angle in the ankle lock of his own, and Kurt eventually manages to get out of this and reverse it into a grapevine ankle lock, and Wolf taps. Now it's the third and the final fall, escaping the cage. They can now use the cage as a weapon. Angle hits Wolf with the Angle slam. Angle goes to escape, but Wolf hits a suplex from the middle ropes. Wolf selling his ankle a lot at this point, and Angle selling his arm a lot at this point from the damage done in the submission round. Angle hits an overhead throw from the top rope. Wolf is now bleeding heavily. Angle goes for the frog splash, but Wolf manages to block it with his leg. Unfortunately for him, he has a bad leg. Wolf tries to escape through the cage door, but can't. Angle puts Wolf back in the ankle lock and holds it for a while. Wolf is an absolute mess at this point and basically passing out from the pain. At this point, Angle escapes the cage. Wolf tries to squeeze through the door but can't get there in time. Although this was a good match, I didn't quite feel like it reached the spectacle level as a different Kurt Angle match I'll be talking about in part 2. Well, that's the first 6 matches. The second and the best 4 matches video will be out later this week, so stay tuned for that as always. If I haven't yet mentioned your favourite TNA match, no offence. Don't get mad at the main character, it might still feature in part 2, so stay tuned for that. Shout out to Cameron Jones and Ethan Thompson, some of the new subscribers around here. Make sure you do the same as them, and don't miss out on part 2 of the video. Comment down below your favourite TNA matches, and thank you for watching.